Welcome to Fantasy Smack Talk. Namco over here, Dustin right here. We got our outfield tiers and rankings. If you want to do any FanDuel leagues, use our promo code FST2015 to get the same sign-up bonus that you get everywhere else, and we would much appreciate it. Tier 1 for Outfield, Mr. Namco.
Yeah, it's pretty easy here. Obviously, Trout's #1. Then we're going with McCutchen and then Stanton. You know what you're getting with all three of these guys. They're all studs, all first-round picks. You're pretty much safe with either of them, but we have them ranked accordingly because Trout, you're going to get the power and the speed. Similar with McCutchen. Stanton, not so much with the speed, but obviously, ton of power.
Tier 2, a lot of upside still in this tier. Michael Brantley. Love it. I've always been a fan of Brantley because he used to hit a lot of doubles, and now he's hitting more home runs.
That is true. It works sometimes, ladies and gentlemen.
2020 guy last year, 327 average. I mean, it didn't necessarily come out of nowhere. I mean, this guy's had potential, but he just kind of really just
He's been hitting doubles.
He's been hitting doubles. Broke out last year. We love him this year. And then I do want to talk about Carlos Gomez. Heated debate in our rankings. I do not get him at all as a first-round pick. It does not make any sense.
I didn't say first-round pick.
Well, that he's getting overdrafted. He's good at everything, but not great at anything, and we know what his upside is. If he repeats last year, that's a good year for him. He's not that exciting. He's getting overdrafted, in my opinion, but still solid.
All right, tier 3 I'm starting with a guy that used to get overdrafted quite a bit, and he's kind of now going where I feel he should, and that's Bryce Harper. I don't know if you see off-season picks, but the guy looks like the Hulk right now. He's just a monster. But there's always been the upsides with him. It's a huge name factor, but before, like last year, he started creeping up to the first round, which we said was terrible. We still think he might be getting a little bit overdrafted based on name, but we have him ranked accordingly. But he is a monster. There is a breakout coming for Harper. Might be this year. The next guy I want to talk about is Matt Kemp out there with San Diego now. Love Matt Kemp. Love his split stats. After the All-Star break last year, he had 17 bombs, 54 RBIs, and batted .309.
Pretty good.
That sounds like the Matt Kemp that used to go in the first round. I'm not suggesting he needs to be ranked accordingly or go in the first round, but when I'm looking, I am not going to be bashful to pull the trigger on Matt Kemp.
Tier 4, we only got 3 guys in this tier. Hunter Pence is the first one. You know, he's still just kind of, I mean, when you look at the numbers from Hunter Pence, they're not that far off from Carlos Gomez. So, you know, obviously,
that was my own argument.
You can get him much later. He's good at everything. Not going to blow you away at anything. And then Jay Bruce, what a disappointment last year. Batted around close to 200. Still had some power there, but I think everyone was expecting and hoping for more. Obviously, he's still young enough that he could bounce back.
A lot of guys in tier 5. I'm gonna highlight 2. However, the first one's Billy Hamilton. You know what you're getting with him. It's the speed. He had 56 bags last year, and if you're in one of those leagues that give you extra, like a points league that's giving you extra for triples and things like that, his value goes up at even a little bit more. He batted 250 last year, which is, well, it was pretty good. There was some fear that he was going to bat under 200, so if he increases on that, gets on base more, you're going to get even more bags. And the other guy I want to talk about is Mookie. I'm not talking about Do the Right Thing, Mookie Betts. I'm talking about the guy. Do you even know that movie? Negative. So, does anyone out there know the Spike Lee joint? I'm talking about the outfielder for the Boston Red Sox. This guy, pedigree, has all the upside in the world. If he was starting, he'd be ranked a lot higher, however, but it looks like he's not starting right now. As Dustin said, and why we fought so much where he's going to be ranked, is he is too talented for them not to find a position for him and not to get his bat in the lineup. So keep a very close ear as you're heading to your draft to see what they're thinking about with Mookie, because if they are saying he's leaning towards starting, you're going to be moving him up these rankings.
But if they're saying he has no chance at starting,
he's going to move. That's a good point. He goes down the rankings, maybe.
We put him right in the middle.
Yeah.
All the talent in the world, though. This kid's the real deal.
Dustin loves him.
Tier 6, JD Martinez. Really great year last year. I'm not totally buying the batting average. You know, obviously decent power. I think his numbers might be a little bit fluky, but he does have potential, obviously. And then we got Soler for Chicago. This is a really talented young player, only 22 years old. He can hit the ball a ton. This is just a really exciting guy to draft in the later rounds, just because he's an unknown, and he has some potential. He could have a big year. He's a fun guy to draft in the late middle rounds.
Tier 7, just talking about one guy, and that's Trumbo. Here's the thing, you know what you're getting with him. He's not quite an Adam Dunn, but he's going to slowly turn into him. The average isn't there. The power is. His average isn't going to be nearly as bad as what Dunn is in his elder age. But I do think there's still upside. And again, this is more of a points league type of guy with the RBIs and the home run potential that you're going to get out of him. Is if you're in a points league, he's going to be moving up these rankings a little bit.
I want to talk about one guy in Tier 8, and that's one of my Twinkies. That's Waldo Arcia. A lot like Soler, this is a young guy with a lot of power. Hit 20 home runs and 372 at-bats last year. You gotta like that, but 231 average. So, you know what you're gonna get out of him. Power, not the best average, but again, an exciting young guy to draft in the later rounds.
Tier 9, Carl Crawford. He's 33 years old now. That's just weird that he's getting to be one of the older guys. But I really liked him last year. I mean, in 343 at-bats, he hit 300, he had 8 home runs, and he had 23 bags. I actually think that he's a great value pick. People are overlooking him left and right. If you need a last kind of outfield spot and you're looking towards the end of your draft, you could do a heck of a lot worse than Carl Crawford. Don't totally disregard him.
Same thing goes for the next guy I want to talk about, and that's Brett Gardner. I know at 31, he had potential to be a huge star. I don't really think that that's going to happen at this point, but he's still really good. He's decent power, decent speed. He's still going to do some things for you. Great late round draft pick for you.
So that's it. Be sure to get into all of our tiers and rankings. Get on FantasySmackTalk.com. Check out all our other videos for President CEO Dustin Barkley. Did you want to say something?
Post questions in the forum.
Post questions in the forum. I'm Brent. Name code. That actually wasn't bad. Not nearly as good. Foul ball.